Hey gang, welcome back to Joe Daddy's Garage. Today's video, well, may not be much of a video. I wanted to make a video on the Cobra Jet. And I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I was working towards making that video, but I got derailed. You know, you always have these projects that are on the side. I do a lot of stuff that's on the side beyond what I'm doing right here. So I may do oil changes or, you know, mild tune-ups, brake jobs, stuff like that for friends that I have, people that I know, and try to help them out with those situations. Occasionally I run into problems myself, and that is what I've run into today. So I was trying to work on my 2007 Suburban. I think I mentioned in a video previously that I had a problem with the crank position sensor. And I had a friend who has some diagnostic tools. They came by to try to help me resolve that problem, and we couldn't get it figured out. So now I was thinking that it could be the cam sensor has gone bad, and it may be causing a synchronization problem between the crank and the cam sensor. So I was working on trying to pull the cam sensor. Things didn't go so well. Let me show you what the cam sensor is supposed to look like. So much like the crank sensor, it looks like this. Now this is a GM part. I did buy actual GM parts for this, and so here's your cam sensor. Okay, well, it's got a little O-ring on it, and it has a 10mm bolt that holds it in. There is also a wire bundle that connects to this here, and a carrier, like a little metal plate that goes over this, and the wire bundle comes down and joins into a secondary kind of bundle. Okay, just get this out, right? Well, things didn't go as planned. So I was able to rotate this, thought I had it moving, and basically it just snapped off. So I've been fighting with getting that sensor out now for half the day. But I have to get this taken care of because I need to get the Suburban off of the ramps and out from in front of the garage, and I've got a bunch of other stuff that I need to take care of. So I am fighting with this right now. I've tried several different things. I've tried turning a screw into what's left of this in the block. That hasn't helped. Pieces have broken off. I'm spraying it with some lubricant, trying to break it loose. And you know, the odd thing is it's only got this O-ring, which is real close to the front, and you would think if the O-ring was holding it, it should release. And I think with the removal of the bulk of the material in the front, I think I've already removed the piece that holds the O-ring. So I'm going to keep fighting with it. But let me show you what I did have in plan for the Cobra Jet project, and I will be doing this in a future video. So as you know, I left off with taking care of the header panel up here on top of the roof, and I was getting ready to prepare the quarter panels to be installed so I could put the roof on. Well, I got to thinking, I need to take care of the seat divider or the trunk divider. Now, the difficulty with this is, of course, I put in the Detroit Speed mini tubs. So if you look at this cutout right here, the normal quarter panel or wheelhouse would be in that location, but now I've widened it by about 2.5 inches, so I'm going to have to modify this replacement piece to make that work. So I was looking at that, and then I thought, okay, there's got to be more that I have to deal with at this point, and there is. Down here in these corners on the original piece, we had parts like this. So I didn't know if I had this or not. I went digging around. Charles had bought this kit from Dynacorn, and that's the fastback bracket kit, I guess. And inside of this box there is a variety of pieces. So this is the piece that goes to the wheelhouse. If I were to demonstrate, it would go somewhere about here on the wheelhouse, and it goes on at an angle. I can show you that on the other panels in the other car. Also, it has these, and these sit on top of the wheelhouse, basically right about here, in that location roughly. So there's a pair of those. There are various other brackets and mounts that need to be installed. These would mount to the floor, and this is for the back seat area here. So all these pieces and parts are here and available. So you know, it's a really nice kit. If you're looking at getting into one of these, you'll see all these little brackets and stuff are pretty important. So let's take a look at these brackets also on the original car that I have. So looking at the original car, this is that bracket that goes underneath the seat area. There is this bracket that mounts above that, and then if you look here, you can see that's the other piece that mounts onto the inner wheelhouse. So all those are included in that kit. If you come back here, you'll see there is the piece that attaches on the curve to hold this in place, and then there's another piece there underneath the front side. Get in there with the light. There's that piece. So all of these need to be put in place before I finish putting everything else in. The way this interacts, this piece here that holds the trunk hinges and everything, directly interacts with the upper lip, or I should say the channel, of the filler piece, the deck filler piece. So all this has to interact together to be put together the right way. So this is a part of the original panel, or you know, represents the original panel. When I cut this car apart, I salvaged all these pieces just to have references. And if you'll notice, this piece right here is this piece right here, and they did a pretty good job at replicating that. Now I wanted to look at this to see how it was put together, and I've noticed that there is a piece or bracket piece inside of that. So if you look at this piece, this is a piece of angle basically, and it's kind of got a tapered edge here, or it's cut at an angle, and oddly enough, there is that piece. Now, they did a good job of replicating that. So basically what that is going to do is attach in here to that, and that will end up here. So very good job on their part to make this part. Now again, I'm gonna have to modify this, cut this out, and just test fit it multiple times until I get the angles that I want, get this placed properly, and then this corner will weld onto this piece, so it'll be carried by that. Now let me show you what else I have going on with the Suburban, just in case you want to know. So I'm working on the Suburban, and the goal here is I'm going to be selling it, and I don't want to sell it with a check engine light on. And I've already done an oil change. I'm trying to get the engine light taken care of, and come under here. I can get a light on it for you. And up there, see if I can not blind you with the light. I'm going to zoom in. That little bit hanging out, you can see some wiring there, like a little metal post. That is what's left of the cam position sensor. And I am fighting with that. So it's always something. You know, they talk about it, any job is minutes away from being an all-day affair, and that's what this has become. So yeah, hard to get the light on. It's just right. So there you can see there's just a couple little wires sticking out, or connecting points. So I'm going to keep fighting with this. I did try a couple different things. I put a I'd actually turned a wood screw into that and tried to pry out, and I could not get it to come loose. So hopefully I can find a way to get it out of there. Otherwise, I'm going to end up taking everything off the front of the engine to pull the timing cover off so I can get that sensor out. Yay. Okay, so maybe not the video you were hoping for. Sorry. Sometimes things just don't work out the way you expect them to, and you end up backtracking and redoing things or trying to find a new way to fix something. So that's where I'm at this point, and I have to get that taken care of before I move forward with anything else. I am planning a trip down to Florida next week. I want to go pick up that rotisserie from Redline, and I will be doing a video on that process. I had a conversation with them, and they're expecting me to be there, and we made some arrangements, maybe to do some video and stuff like that. We'll see how that goes. I will be doing an unboxing video in the future, and also assembly and using it for the Cobra Jet project. Still a lot to do. We are trying to find possibly some original doors that are in good shape, maybe some original fenders that are in good shape, and that would be beneficial because we know that the aftermarket stuff just doesn't fit as well as it should. Original is always the best way to go. So I'm going to try to get a hold of some of that stuff. Also, we are dealing with a lot of parts and stuff that Charles had ordered for this car. We're trying to get those sent back. So I will be taking some of those parts back to his place so that his family can hopefully make arrangements and get some of their money back from what he has put into this project. So, but I want to thank you for watching anyway. I want to thank my Patreon sponsors for helping me to continue making these videos. I know it's not the video you would expected, but it's all I have to offer right now. Sometimes life gets in the way. So until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.